Hi, welcome to daily news analysis of the Hindu newspaper of 8th October 2022. So, first article which we are going to study in this is a panel has been established to study the SC status of Dalits post conversion. So, let us understand this. Recently, a panel headed by Balakrishnan was established to study SC status of Dalits. So, what do we mean by this? First, let us understand some background of the Indian society. Then, let us come to this article. So, the Indian society was divided into Brahmins, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Shudras. So, as we all know that Brahmins occupied the top position, then Shudras occupied the lowest position. Out of this Brahmanical fold, there were untouchables who actually did not belong to this Brahmanical fold. They were outside this caste system. So the untouchables were very least developed. So to put all of them on the equal path, our constitution through articles 14, 15 and various other articles has strived to bring equality in them. So for this, some of the untouchables were given the status of SC and some of them were given the status of ST. Now let us understand more about these untouchables. The untouchables after independence got converted into Hinduism, Buddhism, Muslim, Parsis, Sikhs, and other communities. So these persons got converted into various communities. Now let us come to the news article here. So what this news article states is that the Constitution Schedule Caste Order 1950. It provides reservation, that is SC status, to those belong to Hindu, Sikhs or Buddhist communities. So what do we need to study in this article is, from the mains perspective, we need to study the arguments which were given by the government and the arguments given by other scholars or people against this. So first let us see the argument of the government. The government states that only the Hindu system got this type of the caste and other systems did not have this caste division. So the persons, Shudras or the untouchables who were there, were underdeveloped only in the Hindu system and not the other system. So the reservation has been provided to the Hindus. Okay. Now the Sikhs and Buddhists, they were actually included on the recommendation of Kalelkar Commission. So in 1980s and 1950s, these Sikhs and Buddhist communities were included. Now a debate has arisen as to what about the other communities, about the Muslims, say about the Parsis, because Muslims will also have a division among them. So what about the reservation to them? So this news article is all about this. So before proceeding to the next news article, let's delete this. Just a minute. Okay. So let us look into the next news article, that is slow lane driving. So this is about the economy. So various projections were there, that is Reserve Bank of India has projected our GDP growth to be 7.2%. The International Monetary Fund has projected to be 8.2%. And like this, various projections were there which are really not important. What is important is these projections which were earlier there had now been decreased. That is, before there was 8% projection and now from 8% to 7% and I think 6.7%, that is, the projections have been decreased. So why these projections have been decreased? The reasons are very, very important from the mains perspective and from the prelims perspective, in which they will frame MCQs. So first reason is the tighter global liquidity. So what do we mean by this tighter global liquidity? It means there are some, let me just delete this. Okay. So tighter global liquidity. So there are the banks. Now these banks will actually pump money. We need to understand the concept of inflation here. So the banks will pump money into the market. Now when this money increases very lot, there will be inflation. And when that inflation becomes very high, it will lead to hyperinflation and lead to instability in the country. So this is the basic concept which needs to be understood, and prelims 2022 had questions on this concept also. So now let us understand tight global liquidity. So the banks are not pumping money into the market. That is called as tight global liquidity. So because of that, there is money crunch in the market, something like that. Next, the next reason is, that is the reason for decrease from 8% to 7%. The next reason is higher inflation. Already there is very high inflation in the market. So this high inflation, because of this high inflation, that is this high inflation is due to the oil prices, and oil prices surge. So because of this high inflation, what will happen? Say oil prices are rising, so what you will do, you as a person will not buy goods, because if oil prices will rise, the prices of the vegetables and the price of all other goods will rise, so you as a person will not try to spend the money. So because of that, the private consumption will be affected, and the banks which will not give money, will not give the loans to other people. Because of this, the interest rate, the bank's interest rates have to be increased. So this article is about this, that is many institutions have projected decrease in the GDP growth from 8 to 7%, and the reasons for the GDP growth have to be understood. So that's all about in today's articles. If you like the video, please subscribe to the channel, and please encourage us. Please post it in the comments how about how was the video, and if you like this, we are going to make more videos in the future. The basic objective of this program is to read the newspaper articles in limited time as possible, in very limited time. There were other articles also, such as Uyghur Muslims in the China, and there was an article about B.R. Ambedkar regarding the neo-Buddhists. But this article is not important from the UPSC perspective. It is very important from the anthropological and sociological perspective. So the persons who have those options have to read this. And Uyghur Muslims, such articles will be covered in later classes. So that's all from this article. Bye.